Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and Mr. Edmonds, Representative Edmonds. I was here when you passed the bill last year. Same concerns. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but having the ability to utilize this as a possibility is a problem. It's a possibility. There are bad actors on both sides. There may be a bad actor on the adoption mother side, and it could be a bad actor on the parenting side. They may want to use it if somebody changes their mind. I think that's what you're hearing. I mean, you can have bad actors on either side. So if you got a bad actor on the other side and they hold this up over your head and say, well, we're going to prosecute you, that's the problem. And so for that reason, I can't support it.
I understand.
Thank you.
And I just want you to understand as well, and I can speak to both since you have similar, concerns. There is very little besides this that protects young couples or older couples for that matter, but I'm thinking of multiple young couples and families that if I brought them today before you and you heard their stories of the monies they borrowed from their parents and grandparents, there's abuse going on. Now, I can't bring you evidence today that there are adopting families that are abusing birth mothers. I can't bring much of that. You could say, well, we don't have enough time. Well, we don't. But we do know we have an issue that Louisiana has been fertile for the terminology of baby selling. There's no question. There's no question about it. And so we want to do something on both sides. We want to be pro-adoption, protect birth mothers, which the Children's Code does, and we want to protect our wonderful young families that their whole life is about adopting a child. They've given everything they got. They don't have any more money.
I clearly understand, but since you passed your bill, are you saying that there's proof that that's continued to happen since you passed the legislation that we passed here? Have you even had time for that to go into effect, to really see, to get some real numbers?
Go ahead, Mr. Mills.
Thank you. I spoke with a social worker out of Arkansas who was...
No, Louisiana. We're in Louisiana. I want to know what happened here since the law has been passed.
The story she expressed to me was a woman in... she didn't know whether it was Denham Springs or Gonzales, which is here in Louisiana, had set up an adoption plan last year and vanished just like my birth mother did. They have no idea where the baby went. Her family, who happened to be in Arkansas, because you can do that across state lines, was selected by the birth mother. And the birth mother vanished. That was last year.
And let me ask you a question. Do you think passing this legislation is going to help that?
I will tell you this. I'll never adopt again in this state.
Well, I'm sorry for what happened to you, sir.
I'm not the only one.
All right, we have a question by Representative Bryant.
We vetted this out last session and you agreed to remove it. And now you're coming back to bring it back in. And it seems, and we all were sensitive to this issue. People do not know the law. The person that's going to tell them what the law is going to be the person that believes that they're about to deceive them by telling them, if you don't have the baby or if you don't adopt the baby, I'm going to go to the district attorney and have you charged, because that's the person who has to report it, and that's the person who now is going to be know the law. The person that is doing it is not going to know the law.
I don't disagree.
That is what we were scared of last session, and that's what you agreed with us and said that's a problem, because you have people of us having adoptions and now threatening mothers who are on the fence about changing their mind, saying, you know who I am, you know who I live, you know my relationship with my DA, you're going to jail. That happens every day with other crimes. This is bad, and we did this for a long time last session in the committee, and you even agreed that taking this out of the bill, put the bill in a proper posture. If you're pregnant and you're not pregnant and you're lying about being pregnant and we're giving you money, you're in trouble. If you're collecting money from me and you're also going down the road and collecting money from another person, you're in trouble. But if you change your mind about having this baby and you've been collecting money from me and been doing all these things to me and you don't have this baby, I'm going to the district attorney and have you charged with adoption perception and you're going to jail. You need to rethink this. Is bullying in its truest form. Because that's the person that has to tell them the law. This law is not going to go on billboards or get put out in the publication and sent to everybody's house. You learn the law from someone or somebody telling you what the law is now, right? And that person is not going to just tell them nicely, hey, you know the law is if you kind of change your mind or if you're lying right now, I have the right to go and possibly tell a DA that he could possibly look into possibly sending you and putting you in trouble. No, they're going to use it in a very aggressive way because they want their child and they want to give birth. They want to be a parent. They're going to use it in the most aggressive manner possibly to achieve their goal because that's why they want to use it and that's why they want to say it. I'm just encouraging you to leave the law where it is. We have a law in place for people that are lying about being pregnant. We have a law in place for people that are double dipping. Just leave well enough and see if it works before you come back with something that we vetted and listened to a lot of testimony and went through a lot of harsh deals on last session to where you even agreed to take it out. That's all I'm asking because we don't want to be perceived that we're not wanting to protect these families.
I understand. I totally
That's why
understand.
we voted on a bill and the governor agreed with us and signed the bill.
Right.
All right, Representative Evans.